Welcome to the Geekdom, Episode 2, Cosplay, where magic meets becoming.
Just your ability to make something out of nothing.
Welcome to the Geekdom is awesome!
I love to cosplay because it's fun.
I get to be this character, and then when I'm done being that character, I can just take it off.
It lets me be creative.
It is empowering.
Long before cosplay had a name, fans were already dressing as the characters, futures, and worlds they loved. In the 1980s, the word cosplay brought together two simple ideas, costume and play. But what grew from that blend became much more than dressing up. It became a way to create, perform, belong, and, for many people, become more fully themselves.
Had no idea what cosplay was, showed up, and all these people were dressed up, and I'm like, that's a thing people do? That's awesome!
Technically, it would be Pokemon, ironically. It was introduced to me when I was a child. It was a video game, and it was kind of an outlet and an escape that I had.
A lot of it just happens in my head. So I just come up with whatever I think I want the outfit to look like, and then I make that as real as possible.
So I went to my mom and went, Mom, I want to be this character. And she's like, all right, sure, why not?
With school, family, things of that nature, I needed something to do in my free time. I was a weird kid. I actually read the dictionary growing up. So my parents were kind of, he needs to do something else.
I pick characters that I like their outfits of. I don't necessarily love the character. I don't necessarily know the character. Evie, I kind of went like a Lolita flower garden-esque way with I make so many designs at this point where I can't only do the characters that I love.
That's part of the magic. Cosplay starts in the imagination, but it doesn't stay there. It becomes fabric, foam, wigs, makeup, armor, performance, and play. A private idea becomes visible, something you can build, wear, and share.
I mean, we started from like getting clothes from Walmart and modifying it into the costume. Now I make most things from scratch or patterns, or we draft and drape and make our own patterns now.
When I started, I was very much the newbie that wasn't very good, and it was really scrapped together at the last minute. And then I just started winning, and I'm like, what am I doing?
This in particular took about a year and a half to do because I was learning a lot along the way. I broke it up. I did projects in between to like learn a certain skill before I applied it to this.
I mostly start with the dresses first, like the sewing and everything, because I kind of reuse petticoats if I can.
We have other costumes that maybe take a weekend because we know what we're doing and we're just like, oh, simple, let's just slap together two pieces. Wow, done.
And while some cosplayers love remixing characters through personal style, others find creativity inside a different kind of challenge: accuracy.
We do have what we call the CRLs, the Costume Requirements List. We build those based on what you see in different media. So comic books, animated series, TV series, movies. If you've seen a certain style, we base our requirements on that style. Within that style, you have a lot of leeway to make your custom character your own. And then, of course, we also have a requirements list for all the named characters: Boba Fett, Jango Fett, any of the actual Star Wars characters you've seen.
Cosplay has that element of your own personal touches, your own personal style. There's a lot of cosplay that is mashups or alterations of something, right? There might be a Jedi spider person or something like that. Costuming is when you're matching the reference library that we have, and so these are coming from the verifiable sources: movies, TV shows, comics, even like trading cards and things from the Star Wars universe. And so our costumes have to match those references. So while you can build it individually and you can choose your costumes, they have to look like they looked on screen, so that when someone sees their favorite character, we match what they were seeing when they were 6. What better way
to make magic happen than to actually, do our best to get as authentic a costume as we possibly can for the character we're playing. And then improv in that character's headspace so that the people we're talking to get a sense for what it would be like to talk to a Jedi or Catwoman or Snow White.
Of course, once imagination becomes armor, fabric, foam, and accessories, another reality enters the room: the budget.
Building a custom Mando, so kind of your own Mando, you can get away with somewhere between $300 and $500 for a full set of armor and all the pieces. If you're working on somebody special like Boba Fett, the price can go up.
It can get upwards of $600 depending on what you're making. Plan to be spending a little more and don't be afraid to fail. Budget maybe a little bit of failure into the cost, because it's going to happen.
That creative process is part of what makes cosplay more than a costume. It's invention, problem solving, performance, and persistence. And somewhere in the making, something else happens. People begin to change. But cosplay is not only about becoming a character. For many fans, it is also about claiming space, especially in fandoms where they were not always made to feel welcome.
Being black, queer, and a geek is a recipe for a disaster in today's society. My nerdy, jock-like personality can allow me to integrate into spaces that perhaps just based off my appearance, I wouldn't naturally be able to get into. Being slightly charismatic allows me to kind of talk to people the way I would like to talk to. The Cosplay Dropouts, we're a group of collectors of POC cosplayers who want to promote diversity, inclusion, and overall joy of being anime fans, cosplay fans, and comic fans. We really enjoy coming together as a group to promote not only us as a group, but also to promote other fandoms, collaborating with other groups.
It took me a while to kind of figure out that, this is cool and I want to do this. But once I decided, it was a good way to get off the couch, work on some crafts, to meet people, and to go out into the public and just kind of interact with the public and with different charities.
Creating the outfit is only part of the process. The real magic often begins once the costume leaves the sewing table and enters the world, where characters become conversations and strangers start to feel like family.
There's a lot of cosplay at these, and that's how people, they either have met online or they meet here and they become friends and have all sorts of clubs and interaction.
I had two daughters that picked up my love of pop culture, and we found another group of 2 or 3 other families that had a couple young girls, and the girls would all cosplay together. They did a Miyazaki year where they were characters from Spirited Away and from My Neighbor Totoro.
It's really because of him why we do it, because he found the passion for it and we wanted to support him, and it's something fun that we could do as a family. Become great friends with lots of people, so much to the point that we travel with them and go to conventions, or we look forward to going to other events and seeing certain people because we're like, oh, so-and-so's gonna be here, or Cindy Rue's gonna be there, let's go say hi, let's go. We're not put down because we like comic books or we collect toys or anything like that.
And for some cosplayers, the experience doesn't stop with self-expression. It becomes service. If a costume can create wonder, maybe it can also create comfort, courage, healing, and community.
There's a surprising number of kids that are dealing with an illness that really end up resonating with the villain more than they do the superhero. My first idea was to make medals of bravery for the kids, so the kids would make their medal. And then I'm like, wouldn't it be neat if I had superheroes then pin the medal on them and then give them a certificate of bravery? So I reached out to a local costuming group. They came in and they did that with us, but they were limited to just Marvel characters. Trying to go in every month as essentially the same small set of characters isn't really going to give the kids the variability of interaction. So in 2018, I formed Cosplay for Hope and made it all inclusive. And it really worked with the hospital too. So being able to have that big repertoire really, really helped so that we could reach more kids.
I went to a Ladies of the Legion panel at San Diego Comic-Con And everybody on that panel was super nice, super welcoming, talked about the Legions in general, and I was like, I want to be a part of that. I am currently a captain of the guard for the Rebel Legion, so I am also working at like the global level. We are a costuming charity group that is all of the good guys in Star Wars. So we encompass your Jedi, your Rey, Princess Leia, any Ewoks, Rebel fleet troopers, and anything that is a good guy, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Jawas, everything. And we do events like Fan Expo, we go to libraries during Free Comic Book Day, we go to schools for like their Bike to School Day.
501st Legion is the largest costuming group in the Star Wars universe. We have about 14,000 members worldwide, international. We've got teachers and nurses and doctors and lawyers and cops and all sorts of folks. And as long as you're 18 and have a costume, you can do it. So we've got college students and members' children have done it.
We have a dual mission. Number one, we want to educate the public and teach them how to build these costumes. So it's about education, it's about crafting. And number two, we do charity events.
Cosplay turns fandom into a shared experience. A hobby becomes a ritual. A costume becomes a collaboration. A convention becomes a place where people find their people. But cosplay does more than connect people. Sometimes it changes how they move through the world.
It has absolutely changed me, and I can tell you one big way. I used to just avoid crowds. I was one of those people who was a little bit intimidated or agoraphobic maybe in crowds. You know, building the armor and wearing the armor and putting the helmet on and walking among the crowds here was very freeing. And actually it has helped outside of the armor as well. So yeah, I just enjoy being out and about now.
It is empowering to be able to put aside my normal life to portray the character. It gives you a freedom to truly actually be yourself. Even though you're playing someone else, you also discover that you can walk up to a total stranger and have an interaction that me in my normal street clothes, I would never have had the bravery to just go up there and have that interaction. But, you know, as Catwoman, you know, oh, that's dangling. Hello, thank you. And then suddenly we have a repertoire going.
And I do female characters, I do male characters. It switches in your brain a little bit. You kind of get a little more outgoing, and you know, some of the male superheroes I do, I'm like, yes, I get to be so tough, and it just like changes me a little bit, and it feels so good.
Costumes give a natural opening for magic to happen with people. The kid in us wants to believe that our superheroes, our princesses, the Jedi, we want to believe that those kind of things are real, that magic really exists in the world.
Cosplay has grown from fan costuming into a worldwide culture of makers, performers, families, and communities. It is part theater, part craftsmanship, part personal mythology, and part glorious hot glue chaos. But beneath the wigs, armor, capes, and carefully engineered foam, something deeply human is happening. People are finding courage, finding community, and finding new ways to believe in magic. Welcome to the Geekdom. Come as you are, or as whoever you're becoming.